There is a really big dude sitting next to Slay Dog, VFL, former NFL defensive tackle, Titans defensive tackle, Albert Haynesworth in studio. What up, Big Al? How are you, man?
Hey, thanks for having me on.
I feel like we need a Big Al intro.
We're supposed to have one.
Yeah.
Where's it at, Zeph?
Zeph, do we have one?
One like yours?
I do not have one.
Wah, wah, wah.
I'm sorry.
Al, if you were a baseball player, what would your walk-up music be, do you think?
We the best.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with it.
We'll work that in. What's up, man? How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm good. Just recovering from all these graduations.
Oh.
My gosh.
I mean, when they come through, when the graduations come through, man, like it's relentless.
Well,
that and prom.
It's because nowadays you got like kindergarten graduation, third grade graduation,
You're right.
sixth grade,
You're right about that. I ain't thinking about that.
And then like the only real graduation that should be celebrated, which is high school.
High school, yeah.
Everybody
did you have all that? I don't think I did.
No, well, my biggest one, of course, was Avery, Albert Haynesworth, the fourth graduating, from high school.
High school, right?
So Zeph was there, and he texted us, and he was like,
7th grade.
He was like, Big Al's here. Did you know he has a son graduating? We're like, yeah.
Yep, we do, so.
What's he doing?
He's talking about going to Maryville for like a year. You know, like we had to have a long talk, and he's like wanting to see if he wanted to continue to play football because he's been hurt. Not even hurt. I'd say injured his last 2.5 years in high school. And before that, he had offers from Kentucky, Oklahoma. He's an athlete. But
tough,
since that injury, literally, doctor botched his nerve, so severed his nerve. So
jeez.
Yeah, it's a big thing. So
Yikes!
I told him if he wants to play, we can do a couple of things. Go to JUCO and get him back right, and then he can go on and play in college.
Position? Is he a defensive guy?
He needs to be. He thinks he's like a Derrick Henry. I was like, dude, there's only one Derrick Henry. I ain't number one king, man.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
linebacker. He's a good linebacker. He's a headhunter. He likes that contact.
I like it.
I don't know where he gets it from.
I wonder how
no clue.
Right. Yeah. How would that have changed our sports, man, in our era if JUCO didn't matter for 2 years? Like you still were able to come in and still have 4 years.
Like it didn't count as
it don't count. Like they got it now, they don't count. That's nuts, dog. That's nuts.
I tell you what, that we had a bunch of first rounders at UT.
Immediately. I mean, immediately, dog. Like, woo.
I mean, back then you had Prop 48 and all that other stuff you had to deal with.
Yeah.
Like eligibility stuff.
That's wild, dog.
Yeah.
That's wild. What you think, Al, NIL, in our era, I was going to ask you this in the Boom Boom Room, but I'm going to ask you now. What do you think in NIL era, what it would have been like on campus with us?
Oh, wow.
Because it was already, pretty.
It was already like the basketball dudes. They always had nice cars, bro. Hey, the basketball boys always came out with flashy cars.
Come on, Al, man. Stop that, dog.
We hanging out with them. We they bodyguards. Like, we get paid from them.
We know that's a lie.
I knew that was coming.
What? That's a good one. See, Coach Foreman talked to him always deflect, man. That was pretty good. Pretty good right there.
Albert Haynesworth with us in studio. At what point did you know you had a shot at something big sports-wise? Like, how old were you, do you think? Was it pretty early?
Yeah. I remember my mom, she's telling me this. I can't remember how old I was. I'm guessing probably like 7 or 8. And she said we were watching an NFL game, and she said I was laying on the floor. That's when you had the big box TV on the floor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was laying on the floor watching this game, and she said I just turned around. She's like, and it said to her, she's like, I'm gonna do that. And then
just matter of factly.
Yeah, she's like, I just said I'm gonna do that, and then turned back around and watched.
Just continue watching.
So yeah, I mean, it was always what the next step was. Mm-hmm. So you go into playing junior varsity, then you go up to varsity, and then you got to be the best at that. Then you go to college. You go to college, and then be the best at that. Then it's the NFL, and then it's about like going to the top at the NFL.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just always a progression.
And you were always special, right?
Oh, of course I am.
I mean,
Were you always one of the bigger kids?
like as a kid, though, everybody always knew like a Albert.
You know, it was crazy. So, like I was saying about my son, played running back. Well, I didn't put my hand on the ground until I got to junior high. And then I tried out for running back. And the coach, like, I'm over there in the line with the running backs. And the coach is like, what are you doing? You need to get over there. I'm like, I'm a running back. What do you mean?
But they have weight limits, right?
I mean, not in junior high.
Not junior
That's
high.
cool. That was,
Yeah. So
junior pro, yeah.
that was my first time putting a hand on the ground.
Well, I guess that coach knew what he was doing, huh?
Yeah, I guess. But I would have been a hell of a running back, though.
Can you
I
imagine?
would have been the first D. Henry.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Hey, that would have been dope.
Albert Haynesworth on the carry
Yeah. 76 yards, gone.
with 8 guys on his back.
Easy work.
Oh, I had that speed, too.
No, y'all were different.
Yeah.
Did you play other sports too? Growing up?
I played basketball, but it was more like I was the enforcer. I was telling.
Boom, room.
Yeah,
There you go.
I was telling my oldest son. So my oldest son is a basketball player, like awesome. Now, Shari, he's 6'7". He's my height. Wow. Oh yeah.
Wow.
He grew up like 2 inches after high school, and he just slimmed
Is
down.
he a
but
guard?
he could be a 2 or 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got handles and everything. But
Is that what you were? 2 or 3?
no, I was that center.
I'll be down here.
Yeah.
Y'all come in here, you're gonna deal with me.
That's all it was.
Let's just scare people from coming in the paint.
Oh yeah, and then my uncle was the head coach of a basketball team. So yeah, I was an enforcer. But just to say that, like, I wasn't good enough to play basketball my junior year. I mean, not my junior year, my junior high years, because my other uncle was a head coach of our junior high team. I got cut twice. 7th and 8th grade.
Yes. They got nothing about their relationship. Like, get up out of here, dog.
I mean, that's harsh.
I
I wonder what
just,
those conversations were like.
no, it
with
was
Mom.
just it was all right because I know I wasn't like that good, because I focused more on football.
Yeah.
But so it's just like you're not mad. It's like no. But I just like to work out in in basketball, running up and down, and, and the footwork and all that stuff. So that's what helped me.
Yeah.
Is there a memory in like high school football wise that sticks out to you?
I mean,
Where were you in Hartsville,
yeah,
South Carolina?
yeah. In my junior year, it was some great times. We went all the way to the state championship, lost by 1 point.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we were down 28-0 at halftime and came back 27-28. And I was a tight end as well. And I was supposed to get the ball. Quarterback got sacked.
Oh, no, going for 2?
Yeah.
And the win?
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Slay played wide receiver a little bit in high school, too.
Did, man.
He led the state in receiving for 3 weeks.
Oh.
But he didn't like
fast.
the contact.
Yeah, it wasn't needed for me. Big John and Santonio, Buck, all them guys. Like, why I need to be in that contact with people?
Right. Well, that's
How about that team?
that's like my older son. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
like I should have stepped in and like been more forceful with the coach.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's a guy that he has hands. He's very hand-eye coordinated. But they wanted to play because I was playing at the time, still playing, and they were putting him at like DN and stuff like that.
wow.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
Yeah. See,
he's-
just because that's
Well,
a
because
good thing
his
about
dad,
sports now. Yeah, like it's a lot of times like you're able to not get put in that box. I know basketball, you still got to come in his size. Oh, put him under the goal. No, dog, like what? That's not where the game is. Like, let's see what his handle's like. Maybe he has a special knack for being able to pass. We need him. Like it's. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Babsy wanted me inside because I'm tall. Big.
That's right.
Like, no.
Slay's high school team: Buck Fitzgerald, John Henderson, Slay, Santonio Beard.
It's ridiculous.
Big Reggie Ridley.
Reggie Ridley too. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a good little team.
And a great coach too.
Yes, absolutely.
Still a legend.
Yes, he is.
Incredible
Fitzgerald
legend.
still
That
roaming
was
the streets.
Albert Haynesworth in studio with us. Boom Boom Room next.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, Big Al in the Boom Boom Room next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
In it.
Okay.
Rhonda on YouTube, Albert Haynesworth is the dude, exclamation points, top tier. Haynesworth in the house. Black Wookie says, Big Zeph energy in all caps. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Nobody knows.
You got a lot of energy back there?
No, I think he was talking about yesterday after I called that Tennessee win, despite what y'all say I did or did not do.
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, you got on
You
me for
also
saying
called the loss like 5 minutes later.
that's true, but we don't listen to what I said during the game. Guys, you got to think only before and after the game.
Al,
How about
never,
we just don't listen to you?
never watch a
That's fair.
Tennessee sporting event with that dude in there.
Never.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like you're
2 different
off
times during the
limits.
baseball game yesterday, he called ball game because Texas did something.
Oh, God.
he's one of those.
Hey, you can never lose faith in Coach V. Come on now.
Right.
Yeah.
How about this question in the chat? Might as well go big, right? Does Al wish he stayed with the Titans?
Hell yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think you said that last time you were on.
Absolutely.
You ended up in a situation where
Terrible.
you went from a 4-3 defensive tackle that got up the field to 3-4 like nose.
Like they didn't utilize what you were great at.
So I kept wondering, like, why did they pay this guy to come do this?
I don't know. No refund, though.
Can't get that back, can you?
Did you voice concerns about that?
Absolutely.
At all? Okay.
Like the entire time. Like from day one.
The entire time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Not
shocking
my
that
position.
they didn't switch or do something or, you know?
Listen, if I'm looking to bring Albert Haynesworth in, I'm going to a 4-3.
Right.
And I'm going to allow him to be destructive because those previous 2 years were, I've told you this, and I'm not the only one that said it, but maybe the 2 most destructive defensive tackle seasons in NFL history. Oh, let's let him play nose.
Yeah.
But that's why, and that's why everyone's like, "Oh, it was contract year." I'm like, no, actually, he went to a situation where they completely utilized him differently, and it was dumb.
Right, and people ask us about that, and I'm glad you clarified that last time. But for people that weren't listening, it had a lot more to do with you working on your game than contract year stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what did you discover in your game that enabled you to become that kind of player?
Well, really, it's just
Because you were
like
good before, but
I started working out by myself. And so I hired a trainer, Chip Smith out of, which everybody's heard of, Chip Smith out of Atlanta, CES. And his son came down and we just did our one-on-one stuff. And I mean, like one thing that is different, I'm not knocking on the NFL like strength coaches or anything like that, but you got 50 guys or you got really like 100 guys, right, that you're working out. How can you specialize in everything? So you're doing just this blanket kind of workout and not specialized. So when I had my own trainer, it was specialized. So you saw me more explosive. You saw me like use my hands more. It didn't have anything to do about the contract because like to me, I already had my toys. I was already coach. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in a good spot. Yeah,
I had my toys.
Yeah, so I'm good. But it was really just the workout was different. You know, and that's what really helped me excel, in the game.
I loved what you said too. You said, and I'm paraphrasing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you discovered like my first 2 steps are going to be explosive, and it doesn't matter if it's a pass play or a run play. I'm there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Like I said, I'd love to get my hands on like Jeff and
Sweat.
Yeah, Big Sweat, because they can make them just monsters. I mean, they're already extremely strong. Yeah. I mean, they're a lot stronger than I am, but I was more explosive, and then the way I used it was to like separate the line. So, because you look at the offensive line, they're moving as a unit. Well, when you put them on different levels, now that unit has broken down. Now you're having the running backs and the quarterback having to be able to like adjust to it. And then you got people in their face. So you break one part of that unit down. Now you're breaking another part. So you're taking off their timing, and then that's how plays are made.
Yeah. Is it a freedom that comes with that once a coach sees you can do that, or is the defense at that time where y'all schemed for that, or it was like, all right, Al, you gonna do your thing. Everybody else, y'all got y'all direction that you're gonna go, or like what was it? Like what made you be able to say, all right, I'm gonna take it this way, and everybody else is just fall in line behind me?
Actually, it is all of it, to be honest, because Schwartz, like Jim Schwartz, like he's like, hey, I'm gonna stop calling so many blitzes because I see what you're doing.
Right.
And then as I was doing the workouts, like the specialized workouts, and then like Keith, so I had Keith Bullock behind me. So Keith was like, "Look, I don't care what gap you stay in, just stay in that gap."
Yeah.
And then he was just like, "Because I'll cover you."
Because he
He's
can
like,
watch it.
Yeah, I'm 5 yards behind you. So if you stand in one gap and it's not my gap, but then he's like, "I'll fill that one." So I had a linebacker that was extremely smart and knew how to back me up. So we were never wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense right there.
So you guys were just kind of playing games off each other a little bit.
Well, I mean, not that I would tell him anything, but he would just see what I'm doing, and then he's gonna read off of it.
Yeah. Yeah. When y'all got in the film room, was it when they noticed it, like you said, Schwartz saw what you were doing, that he just what was film session like? Was it a lot of replays with the red dot on you, like, hey, y'all, look at what Al is doing right here?
No, I mean, not as much because we don't like single out, but it's just like, I mean, it wasn't like wasn't talked about.
Yeah, okay.
Because you could see what Keith was doing, so like we're never wrong.
Right.
So they're not gonna fuss at like, oh, you need to stay in this gap, because this gap is open because Keith covering that gap.
Love it.
But I bet those guys love the ability to play base defense a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we didn't call
from a
blitzes.
secondary perspective.
Oh, they only called like probably 2 or 3 coverages. I mean, literally, like seriously, like it was just
crazy.
us. We only called 2 or 3 coverages, and then we basically like on pass, we called our own front. So like our D line, we called our own front, what we're running, and everything like that. And then I mean, literally, he just called in the coverage, and, in the play. I mean, that's it.
Can you put into words what that felt like? Like just the individual domination that you were able to achieve at your position at that level, at the highest level of, like, I'm just thinking about, people listening and they do whatever job they do and they try to do it the best they can every day. But I'm just curious, like when you're moving really huge dudes like that, like what did it feel like to be that dominant?
I mean, honestly, I didn't really think about it that way because it was just a unit. So because I didn't make every play or anything like that, but I have my other guys that could make plays just as well. So
but if you could push the pocket or something like that,
Yeah, I mean, not make the quarterbacks be able to step up. You got to keep dropping back. Now you got like Javon Curse, you got Kyle Vandenbosch coming off the edge, and you can't stay back there because a guy can't block you so long, and then you got our DBs that only got to cover for 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay.
That was an incredible group, man.
It was. Let me just point out.
What do you call it, Slave? Mob?
Yes, a mob.
The Titans right now don't have that. They don't have the KVBs, the bullies, and linebacker. They don't have that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. They have a lot of talent, but it's just more about they're like coaching them almost too much. Like those guys, like
you can see that.
Oh yeah, you can see like why do you have Jeff Simmons going sideways?
Yeah.
And he's a big, powerful guy. Why do you have Sweat going sideways? They need to be going forward. It's like you got racehorses. You got 2 racehorses up front with plows on. I mean, like that's not what a racehorse does. He goes forward. So just let them loose, and then they'll cause so much destruction.
Yeah.
And then if you got smart linebackers behind you, they can clean up the play. Yeah.
Go play the game. That's funny.
So if Big Jeff called you for advice, hey man, what can I do better?
I mean, it's not really about him.
T-Sweat.
It's not about him doing anything like better. It's just like I'd love to get with him to work on his first 2 steps. But like the way he's coached and the way that scheme is not allowed to really do that much.
Because that first step might be sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's hurting him. I mean, it's still amazing what he did, like for the scheme that he was in. And I'm not trying to bash the coaches, but a lot of coaches take the players out of it because you think your X's and O's are going to beat where you got players that are extremely special, and that they can let loose and they can, like create havoc in those X's and O's, and then you can't coach.
Yeah.
The offense, like we dictated what the offense did. Now, like you see, like they're dictated about what the offense does. So, like, hey, if they they switch over strengths. You see those guys switch.
Yeah.
You never saw us do that.
Right.
Like once we're set, we're set.
This is where we
and
are.
then
Yeah.
and then the linebackers will shift behind us.
Right.
They're 4 or 5 yards back.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they? Why
Adjust,
couldn't
yeah.
they adjust?
So when you hear people talk about sacks, like Big Jeff had 5 sacks last year. I mean, because of scheme, I mean, he's not asked to do that on a lot of plays, right? Like, and if he's going sideways and he's trying to take up keep offensive linemen off the second level, he's not asked to end up with numbers like that.
Right. But I mean, just still look at him, 5 sacks in that scheme of a lot of times he was moving forward, or a lot of times you see him when he just got to go forward, you saw him put creases in the line, and then you either see him getting a sack or you see another defensive lineman getting a sack, or, a stand-up linebacker that's playing like a DN.
How talented is T'Vondre Sweat?
Oh, he's amazing.
What did you see from him in his rookie year?
I see him. He's a lot like me, to be honest. I mean, he's big. He's super strong, very athletic. But he's been asked to go sideways, this and this way, that way, and not really to be able to go forward. But if you literally just line those guys up 2 and 3, and let them go, and stop switching, don't stop going to left or right and all that stuff like that.
Just get up the field.
You'll see a big difference. Big difference.
That's usually, man, those small nuances. Like what Al talking about, a lot of times these things don't take more than a day of conversation sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Or just, and the reason I say this is because a lot of people don't watch the game from that lens. You know what I mean? It's like being added to. I had a kid at Texas A&M that I told him that Florida game that I called, pulled him to the side. I asked the coach, could I talk to him for a second? I'm watching him play, watching film. Like, dog, there's no reason for you not to be averaging 19 and 12. I think he was hovering like 14 and 6. It was freakish athletic, but it was just a small thing. And then coming in that game, like, you don't know if he's going to listen or not. But when you see the product and they go out there and get the reward, you're like, wow, he did listen. You know what I mean? He carried it throughout the rest of the SEC season. So what people got to understand, too, it's not Al saying, I'm about to get into training or anything. This is him watching his team like, hey, man, I can help this dude. Like, I was dominant in this fashion. Let me give you this right here you might not even be thinking about. So those nuances, man, are key.
Big Jeff, T-Sweat, give him a call. Ramon
That's
Foster
big.
in the chat. Big Savage, man, I saw Haynesworth completely bend a guard over once in a game. It was then that my guys knew that that guy wasn't an NFL starter. They put me in the next week, and I never left. Thank you, Haynesworth.
Solidified that job.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you remember it?
Solidified that.
No, but hey, I'm going to take it. Looking out for my VFLs, baby.
That's right. Against the Steelers at some point. You want to do Boom Boom
Let's put
Room?
him in the boom boom room, man. Zelf, first before you hit it, Al, like you were around when the boom boom room was created. It was how it was popping up in Tennessee, man. This is what we was doing on the court. This is a part of it. The fun we had in it. So now it's brought to this platform, and you get put in the boom boom room. The door's locked behind you. You can't get out unless you tell the truth to the best of your ability. And I'm the judge of that. If you agree to these terms, you're going in the boom boom room. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Lock the door, Zelf. All right. My guy, VFL brother, Big Al Haynesworth going into the boom boom room, man. Doors locked behind us. Let's get it on. All right, Al. First and foremost, man, give me a pet peeve of yours that just irritates the hell out of you. That people do, or it could be you driving on the interstate, it's something they doing in the car. Like, what's a pet peeve that you see kind of daily that's like, I wish they'd stop for Babs, is people driving in the left lane.
Oh, yeah.
Drives me
That's definitely one. I mean, heck, there's so many, but
It's so many.
yeah, there's so many, but that's definitely one. And then they look at you sideways when you pass them.
Like you did something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, definitely liars. I can't stand a liar.
Yeah.
It's just, no matter what, just tell the truth. Like, it's better that way. Like, you got to keep up with lies. You know, you ain't got to keep up with the truth.
Right.
You know?
Simple. All right. If you're a superhero, what superhero would you be and why?
Superman.
Why?
Well, I mean, look at him. There's no, he got no flaws. He got no no weaknesses.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get stuff from another planet to take that man down. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's totally me.
All right, you at UT. Let's take it back.
Oh, boy.
You're at Tennessee. You have to switch spots with someone, whether it be a sport, teammate in your sport, whatever it is. You're on campus. There's a lot of legends walking around. You could switch spots with one person. Who would it be?
Football?
Football, basketball, baseball, track, coaching.
Anybody.
Anything on campus, sports related. What would you could be the AD? Like what would be what would be your spot you're switching with?
Well, I'd say if it's sports, I'm going to be Ron Slay. I'm just saying. You know what I'm
You
saying?
think he had a good time in
great
Tennessee?
answer.
You were there.
He was the guy. He's the man. Come on.
What do you remember about
Listen,
him?
that's not the boom boom room.
So we're taking over. We're taking over.
We're
putting you in the boom boom room now.
I'm gonna be in the boom room. I'm asking the question.
Yeah, if it was basketball, yeah. It would definitely be Slay. But, like, if I could go switch positions with another football player, I would say probably going to be T. Martin.
That's a good one.
Can you sling it?
No. I didn't say I had to do that. I said switch spots.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, T probably had it good there.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
He was the man.
Yeah.
We was coming off that national championship. All right, Al, give me a moment at Tennessee that you would go back and you would relive. A moment, a sporting event, a play, just a time up there at Tennessee you would go back and relive.
Oh, 2001 year.
The whole year?
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
I watched the other day I did a podcast and we was watching the highlights of 2001. I definitely love to go back there.
That was an incredible team.
Yeah, and I was thinking oh yeah, we're gonna pull away from this game, and every game was close. So I'm just like, God Almighty! No wonder Coach Fulmer aged.
Well, that Florida game, you didn't even know this. I told you last time you were on the air, y'all were 18-point underdogs.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
And won that game.
Yeah, I mean that would have been. I'd love to go back then, just to say if I had the knowledge that I had now, and then go back. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You and Big John walking around the Prowler package,
yeah.
that was amazing.
That was dope.
How do you know the name of the package?
Did Big John tell us, or did you?
I don't know. I know things.
That's all right. That's the name of the package. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Prowler.
Yeah. Y'all were prowling.
Yeah.
A coach that you, if you could go back and do it again, you'd be like, you know what? I probably would have listened to Coach Brooks a little bit more or something, or Condridge, the way he was being a consultant in a sense for the team. Who was somebody you go back and let me get one more conversation and do it over?
I had a great relationship with Coach Fulmer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe listen a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, he always took care of me. He was always that father figure, even to this day.
Right.
Still, every Father's Day, I sing, happy birthday, and everything. But definitely that, Yeah. And maybe, even though everything worked out well, I might have came back that my senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was close.
Was it close?
Honestly, it was.
I didn't think you were going that high though.
I thought I was going higher.
I'm thinking top 10, but I'm like, God, that was y'all D tackles off the same team though. That don't happen.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that don't happen.
I definitely would have did maybe come back, but I don't know if I told Coach Fulmer. It was Coach Fulmer, it was Coach Brooks, and it was Chief in the meeting.
John Chavis.
Yep.
Yes.
So they brought me to a meeting, and then I'm like, man, I didn't do anything. Like, what happened? We're at the bowl game, right?
Yeah.
And so, I guess I did the NFL grade, deal. And so they brought me in, and they were like, well, just because they said you can go as high as the first round, that don't mean you're going to go in the first round. And so they started kind of putting the NFL thing in my head. I was just like, for them to sit down with them and this
it's got to be real.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa, it didn't really cross my mind.
Yeah.
Until and then after the game, and this was a dumb decision. about a 20-year-old. So my brother is driving my truck, and we're going back home to South Carolina. It starts snowing, which it never snows in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And my brother wrecked my excursion.
Green one, I remember.
Yeah, and from there I was like, you know what? I didn't say it like this, but I was like, I'm coming out.
Yeah.
So like,
So you
that's
don't
what
have
I
to
was-
worry about anything like
Yeah,
that
so I was
anymore.
just like, yeah, he ain't driving my car anymore. He didn't either.
Dude, golly. So what did
That's
you
a
what did
great
you go?
story.
What pick did you go
15,
with 15? See, I'm
Where did
thinking
Big John go? I don't remember.
9.
9.
Yeah.
See,
And
they,
you go to rival teams, which is
and they both should have been in the top 10. Wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yep.
Like it's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Last one for me, Titans. That year, those years that you were with the Titans, what's something that you would go back and you would want to relive with that? And like, man, we could change this, and man, we right there.
It would have been like probably starting off early with my own trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like then it would have been more explosive.
Yeah.
Because I mean those teams, my 7 years here, like, I would say like honestly, we should have at least been in 3 Super Bowls, at least.
Dang.
You know,
That deep.
I mean, yeah, we had you think like my first year, rookie year, we went to the AFC Championship. You know, I'm just like, oh man, okay, this is
This
like
how it
easy.
works.
This is
Oh, yeah.
closest I ever got to that thing ever again is getting to the Super Bowl. It's my freshman year, so it would have been like going out and doing my own like training, and so like I could, like I said, I can go back, and be that, and then we definitely would have been up there.
Zeph, let him out the boom boom room. I like it. This could go. First of all, this could go long and long.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This could go. Yeah.
Hoorah.
All right, more with Albert Haynesworth in studio next. 3HL 1045 this yeah, your big walk up music there. Big Albert Haynesworth in studio. Do you have a favorite game memory from the Vols?
Anytime playing against South Carolina.
I remember, man. You brought it those days, that's for sure.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that
he was-
because it was the home?
Yeah, but you don't understand like the stuff I went through my senior year in South Carolina. So I wasn't considering South Carolina. And
For those that don't know, you were one of the top 10 players in the country, not just at defensive tackle, but all players.
yeah,
And you're coming out of South Carolina, you don't look at them. It was Georgia, Tennessee?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it was just like, so the stuff I was going through in South Carolina, I mean, it was crazy. So like I was good, of course, in my grades and everything. And I remember like days that the bell rings, and then like I walk in, and then somebody else walk in behind me. I get sent to the principal, and I'm just like, I mean, they was totally just picking on me. That's why I don't really mess with my
Petty stuff.
I literally I don't mess with my my high school
At all?
anymore. No,
Wow.
no, because I mean just because of that, like even like you can ask Coach Fulmer and even like Jim Washburn, like my head coach, he told Coach Fulmer that I wasn't worth a scholarship. That I'd be home in 6 weeks, and then like of course 3 years later I go into the draft, and then he tell Coach Jim Washburn, and say I wasn't worth the draft pick. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then
Bitter.
Why so
Yeah.
petty, man?
because I went to South Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, because I went to
you
to
didn't
Tennessee,
consider
I
them.
didn't
Yeah, yeah.
consider.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like and then it was like funny. I think it was after I retired. Like he retired, and they asked me to come speak at his retirement. I said, "Well, my mom said if I ain't got nothing nice to say, you don't say anything at all." So, like,
Yeah.
You
skip it.
said tell the truth.
yeah,
Can't even fix your mouth to ask when he come speak to that.
yeah.
Man.
Do you have a moment with the Titans that sticks out?
Oh, all of them. It was really just the brotherhood, like how we played. It was fun. I mean, it's like, honestly, some of the best times in my life, other than my kids being born, it was like just a brotherhood, like guys I'm still like close with to this day, I mean, everything we did, we should have went further, but just being a Titan, being there, I mean, it was great time. I mean, all of us hung out. like Rob Baronis, God rest his soul.
Oh, man.
He was one of our boys, to hang out. Like everybody, we
And that
all
says
hung
something
out.
when you talk about a kicker like
Even,
that.
even your
Yeah.
kickers hanging out.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
the
it was
best.
just everything. Like
Babs
CJ.
loves Rob Baronis.
Yeah.
Baronis was my guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome guy. I mean, even CJ, when he came in, we took him under our wing, he was
He's a cool
part
dude,
of us.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it like to play for Wash?
It was wild at the beginning, and then like I knew like his stories and stuff, being there so long, and then I just remember this one thing. So we had our young guys, and it was probably like my sixth year, and Wash got these things. I can't really say it here on the air.
Right.
But,
Him and Schwartzy, man.
He said, him and Schwartzy.
For those that don't know, defensive line coach with the Titans for a number of years and had a lot of weird toys and drills and all
Phenomenal coaching mind.
Incredible.
the
And
best.
Schwartzy, right?
Like I watched just to get off sidetrack, I watched of course the Super Bowl this year, and then I'm like, man, that's one of our games. That's this, that's that. And then Miss Washburn, she had a picture on Facebook, and then you have Wash and Jeremy on the sideline. And I'm like, that's why they won. That's why their defense played the way it was, because they was literally running some of our games. And I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he couldn't do anything with it. I mean, that's the dominance of that type of defense. When you just let those guys go, I mean, they control the whole game.
So somebody in the chat said, I'd take Albert Haynesworth against the tush push.
I might go over the top. You don't know.
Yeah.
I've
done that before.
I've seen it happen.
There's where the injury concern comes in. So, okay, yeah. What was the rest of the Wash story? Because I remember in training camp, they'd have to put like Wash and Schwartzy on the opposite
Field
side
three.
from the
Oh, yeah.
Field three.
Yeah. We had our own. That was our own little gang over there. That's our own clubhouse. Like, not many people were welcome over there. But Wash, he would tell like one of his favorite movies is Deliverance. So he was telling us, like, these young guys one day we're playing. I can't remember who we were playing. They had a great offensive line though, and then he was just like, like them dudes, like dude right there. He gonna make you put your finger in his belt loop, like, and he gonna make you squeal like a pig. And then like, so these guys don't even know what he's talking about because they're younger, and so like after practice, me and Wash walking in, I was like, Wash, I said, these dudes don't know what deliverance is. He's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, they don't know what deliverance is. Swear, we didn't watch our practice film at all. He put deliverance on. He put deliverance on. Man, I'm telling you, our young guys had probably 4 or 5 sacks that game. Like, no, I mean,
that is a wild movie, man. It's funny that you mentioned it. I hadn't seen it to where I didn't remember it, so I watched it like 6 months ago.
Oh,
that's a
first
crazy.
time?
I didn't remember it. I think I'd seen it before, but I didn't remember it, and that's a crazy film right there.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah. Like those dudes, like eyes are just. They couldn't believe it.
Finger in a belt loop.
So somebody in Tony in the chat said, "Can you please ask Big Al this? If he thinks it's the coaches coaching Big Jeff and Sweat to move lateral, or is it because of the current offenses? Do you think? Like, has the game changed enough, basically, to have to change how you play?"
And don't get me wrong, I am not bashing the Titans coaches or anything like that. I'm just like, the way it is, like, we're still playing football. It's still the same. And then when you got dominant guys like that, you set the tone. You dictate the offense, not the offense dictate you. So yeah, that's where a lot of coaches be coaching, like, oh yeah, we're gonna run this when they come out with this play, that play, blah blah blah. This is what we're gonna run. No, we gonna run what we do, and then make them have to adjust to us. And then when you do that, I mean, you got the players up front. When you do that, that's the results that you get.
Sometimes we as people make things harder than they need to be.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. You're making it more complicated than it need to be. These guys don't need to be thinking literally like on the field, like, oh, I got this call. Oh, let me think.
This responsibility.
This way. Like, no, you just line up, go straight ahead, create division in the offensive line, and everything will work out itself. Simple.
The game is simple.
Love it.
Albert Haynesworth in studio. Thanks for coming in, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Appreciate that, dog. We always pin them down once a year.
I know.
Pin 'em-
So, although this is the first time we've like sucked him
In
into
studio.
the studio.
Yeah.
So
Usually we
now,
just see him out and about.
now you're going to have to keep doing it, Big Al.
Always,
Hey,
always.
love you, brother. Appreciate you coming in, man.
No, I'm glad you guys got me on.
There you go, Albert Haynesworth. All right, when we